Hi guys, this is Bill from Spencer1984.com with another update to the Pirates of the Caribbean Jellymon. And as you can probably tell by the can here, this week I started making it look more like a pirate ship. Now this is not the final color. I'm really just using this as a pre-shade because when I was looking at different colors and different paints, I figured I wanted to use a stain instead of a paint, at least at first, because I wanted something that would really bring out the grain and also act as a base for when I do add the other colors to it. I wanted something that was a little dingy, a little worn looking, something that would serve as a good patina base, and I think this works out pretty well. Now, it does show up a little strong in the areas where I had to glue the cracked planks, but even that fits the overall look of the boat, and I think it will work out for when I start adding the extra paint to it. So now I just need to make and install the yard, and I can get to work rigging it up. Well, had a little bit of a setback, self-inflicted of course. I'm not used to things that are this tall being on the workbench, so I had reached to the back for a bottle of paint, caught the mast, knocked this on the floor, and busted the transom. So that was kind of annoying to have to repair, but that's back together and drying now, and I've got a pin on the mast where the yard is going to go, and I have the yard itself. This is another dowel that I tapered both ends of and then drilled a hole for that pin that I showed you on the mast. Is, if nothing else, me knocking this and breaking it proved that it's better for me to reinforce things wherever I can. So I'm going to get this installed and I'll be right back. Okay, got the yard on. Had to make this really weird jig so that it was level and going to stay in place while it dries, but that works. And now onto the rigging. Now I'm nowhere near ready to make my own blocks, so I just ordered these instead. And I got a variety. I got some single, double, and triple blocks, and I think these will work out for what I need just fine. For the lines, I want to start with the forestay, which for that, I'm going to be using this. It's some string that was around the boxes at a local Italian bakery, and it works out to a near perfect 1-inch 24mm rope. Well, it took a few tries, but I do finally have a forestay. Now, leaving my miniature knot tying skills aside for the moment, I've got it tied off around the top of the mast, which is, as far as I can tell, accurate to the movie. I've got a couple of dead eyes here in the middle. Both of those were scratch built from just bits of wood that I had left over. And then I've got the bottom line going through the holes that were already drilled in the front of the dory. Looking at the movie stills, it looks like that's exactly how they were done. Then I gave them a wash in some watercolor ink and washed my own hands as much as the rope. But overall, I think this has the right look. It's a little ratty looking, but again, that's exactly what the Jellymon was supposed to look like. So I'm going to call this a win and move on to the next lines. Now for the lift blocks, I'm going to cheat a little bit, because I'm going to need something that's got a little more structural integrity than the string that I've been using. I did find this floral wire, and it has fabric wrapped around it, so it's actually got a ropey appearance. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to start by bending a loop in it, like that, and then I can put my block in there. That'll hold it like that, and then what I can do is I'll take my square-jawed pliers and grab both sides of it. Just like that. And give it a twist here. And that way I'll have my lifting blocks with what looks like a knot, or at least it will once it's covered, but a lot easier to work with. Alright, and we are back to the photo booth to wrap up this week's update. So, taking a closer look at the lift blocks in place, and you can see they're not perfect, but I think they get the idea across. And more importantly, when it's like this, I will be able to run the rigging through things that are more fixed, not quite as floppy, and I think that's going to save me a whole lot of headache going forward. Gonna find out soon enough, at least. So that will do it for this week. I'm going to continue working on the rigging, try to get as much of that buttoned up as I can. Going to be an adventure to itself, but we'll see how it goes. So I will have another update on that next week. You can check back then, and thanks for watching.